It's easy to say what we're going to do. We talk about our dreams, our goals, and all the things we're planning to accomplish. We tell ourselves, one day I'll start that business, or someday I'll get in shape, or next week I'll finally work on that project. But the truth is, talking about something doesn't make it happen. Words alone don't change a thing. Actions do. There's a false sense of accomplishment that comes from talking about our goals. When we speak them out loud, it feels like we're making progress. We might even get a little rush of excitement because we can imagine it so clearly, but here's the problem. Imagining and talking about something is not the same as doing it. You can talk about your dreams all day long, but if there's no action behind your words, nothing will change. Think about it. How many people do you know who constantly talk about what they're going to do, but year after year, they're in the same place? They have big plans, big ideas, but no follow through. And if we're honest, we've all been guilty of this at some point. We get inspired, we make bold declarations, but when it's time to actually do the work, we hesitate, we delay, we get distracted. And before we know it, another year has passed, and we're still standing in the same spot. The world doesn't need more talkers, it needs more talkers. You can believe in something all day long, but if you never take action, that belief is powerless. Faith isn't just about hoping, wishing, or waiting. It's about stepping out and moving forward, even when you don't see the whole picture. Too many people say they have faith, but they live like they're waiting for something magical to happen before they start. They sit around saying, I'm trusting that things will get better, or I believe my breakthrough is coming. That sounds good, but faith isn't passive. Faith requires movement. Imagine a farmer praying for a harvest but never planting a single seed. He can sit there and say, I believe God will bless me with a great crop, but if he never puts his hands in the dirt and gets to work, nothing is going to grow. Why? Because faith without action is dead. You have to plant if you expect to reap. You have to walk if you want to reach the destination. The problem is, many people want certainty before they move. They want to see the full map before they take the first step. But that's not how faith works. Faith is stepping out when you don't have all the answers. It's moving forward when you don't see the whole staircase. It's making the phone call, starting the business, applying for the job, writing the book, whatever it is that's in your heart to do before you have everything figured out. Think about a GPS. When you enter a destination, it doesn't show you the entire route all at once. It gives you one step at a time, turn left in 500 feet. Then after you take that turn, it tells you the next step. That's how faith works. You move, and then the next step is revealed. But if you refuse to move, you'll just sit there waiting, and nothing will change. There's a story about Peter in the Bible. He was in a boat with the other disciples when they saw Jesus walking on water. Peter wanted to join him, and Jesus said, come. Now, Peter could have stood in that boat talking about how much faith he had, but his faith wasn't real until he put his foot over the side of the boat and stepped onto the water. He had to move. If he had stayed in the boat, nothing would have happened. That's the difference between people who see results and people who don't. Some people stay in the boat their whole lives waiting for everything to be perfect before they move. They wait for the right timing, the right feeling, the right conditions. But the ones who step out, the ones who take action, even when it's scary or uncertain, those are the people who see miracles happen. Fear will always try to keep you still. It will whisper, what if you fail? What if it doesn't work? What if you make a mistake? But faith says, what if you succeed? What if this is the moment that changes everything? What if this is exactly what you were made to do? Your belief has to have feet. You can't just say you have faith. You have to show it. You have to act on it. The moment you take that first step, something shifts. Doors start opening, strength rises up in you, opportunities come your way, but nothing happens until you move. Excuses are the number one thing keeping people from stepping into their potential. They sound reasonable, they feel justified, but at the end of the day, they are nothing more than chains that hold you back. Excuses will talk you out of your dreams. They will keep you in the same place year after year while others move forward. You can have excuses or you can have progress, but you can't have both. People make excuses for all kinds of reasons. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right connections. I'm not talented enough. I'll start when things settle down. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect time. Life will always be busy. You will never have all the resources. all the knowledge or all the certainty before you start. If you keep waiting for everything to line up perfectly, you'll be waiting forever. Fear loves excuses. It whispers to you, you're not ready, you might fail. What will people think? And if you listen to that voice, it will keep you paralyzed. But let me tell you something. Everyone who has ever accomplished anything had to push past excuses. They had to step out before they felt ready. They had to take risks. They had to do things scared. Think about people who have achieved great things. Do you think they had perfect conditions? No. They started where they were with what they had, and they figured it out along the way. They didn't let their limitations become excuses. They let their limitations become fuel to work even harder. There's a story about a man who wanted to walk again after an accident left him paralyzed. Doctors told him he would never regain mobility. He could have accepted that as his reality. He could have said, this is just how it is, and spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. But instead, he refused to accept that excuse. Every single day he trained. He forced his legs to move even when they felt dead. He practiced standing even when it seemed impossible. And little by little, step by step, he regained his ability to walk. Now imagine if he had listened to the excuse, it's too late for me, he would have stayed stuck. And that's exactly what excuses do. They keep you in the same place, robbing you of what's possible. Excuses also like to disguise themselves as logic. I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have enough money, it's just not the right season for me. And these statements might feel true, but they are only true as long as you believe them. The moment you decide to move forward despite the excuses, you take your power back. Success is not about who has the best circumstances. It's about who refuses to let circumstances define them. It's about who gets up every day and does the work no matter how they feel. It's about who pushes past fear, doubt, and every excuse that tries to get in the way. You don't need more time. You don't need more talent. You don't need everything to be perfect. What you need is the willingness to take responsibility for your life, because the truth is no one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to push you out of your comfort zone. No one is going to make the excuses disappear. That's your job. That's your decision. The longer you hold on to excuses, the longer you stay stuck. But the moment you decide that you're done with excuses, that's the moment things start to change. Feelings are unreliable. One day you wake up motivated, ready to conquer the world. The next day you don't feel like doing anything. If you base your actions on how you feel in the moment, you'll never accomplish much. Success isn't built on emotions. It's built on discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Too many people live according to their feelings. They say, I don't feel like working out today, so they skip the gym. I don't feel like reading, so they don't invest in their growth. I don't feel like putting in the extra effort, so they stay stuck in the same place. But here's the truth. Feelings will lie to you. They will convince you that taking the easy way out is the best choice, but in reality, it's just keeping you from your breakthrough. Successful people aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who show up even when they don't feel like it. They understand that discipline means doing what needs to be done no matter how they feel. A professional athlete doesn't train only on the days they feel excited. A writer doesn't wait for inspiration to magically appear before they start writing. A business owner doesn't wait for the perfect mood to put in the work. They do it because they made a decision not based on feelings, but based on commitment. The problem is many people wait for the right feeling before they take action. They say, I'll start when I feel ready. But readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. If you wait until you feel like it, you'll never get started. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to put it off. That's why discipline matters. It keeps you moving forward, regardless of your emotions. Think about people who wake up early to go to the gym. Do you think they always feel like getting out of bed when it's still dark outside? No, but they've trained themselves to do it anyway, and because of that, they see results. It's not about feeling motivated every morning. It's about making a decision the night before and following through. Discipline is also what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. Anyone can start something when they feel excited. Anyone can make a plan when they're in the mood. But can you keep going when the excitement wears off? Can you stay committed when no one is watching? Can you push through the resistance when your mind is telling you to quit? That's what determines success. The truth is, discipline builds confidence. When you follow through on what you said you would do, you start trusting yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable, strong, and reliable. On the other hand, when you constantly give in to feelings and make excuses, you start doubting yourself. You lose faith in your ability to follow through. That's why so many people struggle with confidence. It's not that they aren't capable, it's that they don't keep promises to themselves. If you want to succeed, stop letting your feelings dictate your actions. Start training yourself to follow through no matter what. Make a plan and stick to it. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Because in the end, discipline will take you places that motivation never could. People don't follow what you say, they follow what you do. You can talk about discipline, success, faith, and perseverance all you want, but if your actions don't reflect those things, your words won't mean much. The most powerful way to influence others is not through speeches, advice, or instructions. It's through your example. Your walk, your daily choices, and your lifestyle say more than any words ever could. Think about the people who have inspired you the most in life. Chances are it wasn't just because of what they said, but because of how they lived. Maybe it was a parent who worked tirelessly to provide for their family, a coach who never gave up on their players, or a mentor who led by example. Their impact didn't come from talking about hard work, it came from demonstrating it. The truth is, you never know who is watching you. You never know who is paying attention to your consistency, your perseverance, and your ability to keep going despite obstacles. Sometimes you may feel like your efforts are going unnoticed, but they aren't. Whether you realize it or not, your life is influencing those around you. The way you handle challenges, the way you respond to setbacks, the way you carry yourself, it's all teaching a lesson to someone else. Many people spend too much time trying to convince others with their words instead of simply walking it out. If you want your children to be strong and resilient, show them what that looks like. If you want your friends to chase their dreams, show them what it looks like to go after yours. If you want to inspire people to live with integrity, be the one who does the right thing even when no one is watching. There's a saying that goes, preach at all times and when necessary, use words. That means your actions should be the loudest message you ever share. People don't need more empty advice. They need to see proof that it's possible. They need to see someone who stays committed even when it's hard, someone who chooses discipline over comfort, someone who keeps walking even when the path isn't clear. When you become that person, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage inspires courage. Your persistence sparks persistence in others. Your decision to walk in faith instead of fear reminds people that they can do the same. It's easy to get caught up in talking about change instead of being the change. It's easy to tell others what they should do while making excuses for why we're not doing it ourselves. But true leadership is not about giving instructions, it's about setting an example. Even when you feel like your progress is small, even when you feel like your efforts don't matter, keep walking. Because someone is watching, and your journey might be the inspiration they need to take their first step.